exercise professional, personal trainer, gym owner, fitness instructor, social media influencer, exercise physiologist, whoever it is that you turn to for information about how to be healthy, how to be fit, how to be strong, how to be lean, how to have a stack of energy, all the things that we all want. Because the reverse is I'm going to be fat, sick, weak, frail, depressed, unhappy, unhealthy, full of diseases. And of course, none of us want that. So where do we get the best advice from? But here's a great question. Whoever you're getting advice from, are there some things that they should know about you? So as a top-level exercise professional, one of the things that I always use as a plan, as the beginning of the program, before I do anything with anybody, I need to know where you're at the moment. So should the person that you're turning to for advice, should they know what your resting heart rate is, what your blood pressure is, what your blood sugar levels are, what energy levels you have, what kind of lifestyle you have, and then the things that you like and the things that you don't like. So if you're going to a professional and they haven't checked your blood pressure, checked your resting heart rate, checked your blood sugar levels, and found out all the things about you, how could they possibly give you information about how to be healthy, fit and strong? Because there's three parts. One is to get fit, one is to get strong, but it's got to fit into your lifestyle, yeah? Doesn't matter what program you're given, if you can't stick to it for the rest of your life, it's obviously not going to work. So people need to know what foods you like, what foods you don't like. When you like to eat, when you don't like to eat, where you like to eat, the things that have worked for you in the past. Same with exercise. What do you like to do? What don't you like to do? It's easy to say running's the best exercise, for example, but what if you don't like to run? You're never going to stick to it because you don't like to do it. So the only fundamentals to consider is that you've got to get puffed to get fit. You've got to overload your muscles and bones to get strong. Obviously better to do it in the upright position because the human body doesn't work very well in the seated position, the kneeling position or the lying down position. And after that, it's just got to fit into your lifestyle. But if you're unhealthy at the moment, would it be a good idea for your exercise professional, your personal trainer, the person who's giving you advice, to know where you're at the moment so that they don't hurt you, they don't injure you? I always ask exercise professionals, if somebody comes to you for the first time and they've got an underlying injury, so they've got sore knees from playing netball, or they've got sore shoulders from being a kayaker, or they've got a sore back from sitting on their backside all day, they could come to you for the first time and you injure them the very first time they come to you because you haven't found out what their underlying challenges could be because of their lifestyle or their sport or their working career. So before we take advice from people, before we go to Dr. Google, before we go to a robot, before we go to a social media influencer, and I always get perplexed because social media influencers are the classic. You can put in your credit card details into a website and they will send you a diet or an exercise program, but they don't know anything about you. And is that possible that that could set you up for failure? Because if you try something and it doesn't work, how does it make you feel? If you give something a crack and it doesn't work, you feel like you've failed or you are undisciplined or you're lazy. But if you've given it a good crack and it hasn't worked, maybe it's because the program didn't suit your lifestyle. Maybe it wasn't an effective program. And is it possible that there's plenty of rubbish out there, particularly on the internet and particularly from social media influencers, because they don't know anything about you, they're giving you information that's not going to work specifically for you. So as a special guideline and as a professional guideline, how about make sure that the person that you're getting advice from wants to know about you? Not has to, not should, but they want to. They want to know what your resting heart rate is. And I use that as an example because your resting heart rate is a classic example of how fit you are at the moment. Then if you want to find out how fit you're getting, it's get puffed to 100% effort and how long does it take you to recover. That's a really great fitness test. You don't need some expensive test to find out how fit you are. It's just get really puffed. How long does it take you to recover? And as you get fitter, that time frame gets shorter. How do you know how strong you are? It doesn't matter what weight you can lift at the moment or what thing you can lift at the moment. If next time when you come back you can lift heavier, you're obviously getting stronger. So there's no point in doing more exercise or longer exercise or a variety of exercise. Obviously the point is to get fit, get strong and stay that way for the rest of your life, because a fit, strong, healthy body has great self-esteem, it has a fast metabolism, it's got a strong immune system so you don't get sick. Everything works really well together when you're fit and when you're strong. So whoever you're asking for advice, their goal should be to get you as fit as possible, to get you as strong as possible, and make sure that it fits into your lifestyle in a way that you're not going to get injured, you're not going to get hurt. So safe, effective and fast. It's got to be safe, otherwise you can't do it. And if you're injured, you obviously can't do anything. It's got to be effective, it's got to work. And if it works slowly or it takes a long time, are you less likely to stick to it? And of course the answer is yes. So before you take advice from anybody, find out, or make sure that they find out about you. That's the really important thing. Not just give you some exercise program or some eating plan and hope that it works for you. They need to care about you. And that's my very special quote, and excuse my language, but I share this with all of my exercise professionals. The only way that somebody knows that you're a great exercise professional is if you actually care. And my quote is, if you give a shit. If the person who's looking after you doesn't care about you, then why on earth would you stick with them? Make sure that you're working with somebody who cares about your health and fitness, cares about your energy levels, cares about an exercise program and an eating plan for you that is safe, effective and fast, so that you can get fit, you can get strong, you can stick to it for the rest of your life, and then you could actually live your life to the max. Super-duper-doo, how are you? Living my life to the max. Woohoo!